started getting worse, having troubles walking. It wasn't until I had an emergency MRI that they discovered that I have MS.
Oh, one of the biggest concerns that I do see here is no rails. He doesn't even have his 4x4 at all into the ground.
I went to work one morning and there was no ramp. I came home that night and there was a ramp.
It's just wrong. How do you do that? We don't have a choice in here. We're going to rip this down and we're going to start from scratch.
This needs railings.
I'm looking forward to seeing that new ramp.
Mike Holmes, did they actually do this right?
No, they didn't. Motherfuckers. You want a good job? Keep me in shape. Okay, contractor.
God, I love my job.
Neighborhood's just great. It's nice and quiet. The evenings are perfect. It's beautiful. I found the house, and not even 6 months later, they discovered that I have MS. I was a paramedic for 15 years, and then in the last couple of years, I started getting worse, having troubles walking, and I've gone down the tubes in the last couple of years really bad. I can't walk, can't stand. Edith basically has to look after me. I'm totally dependent on her. I've gone from being able to walk to being basically confined to my scooter.
Good morning, Chris and Edith.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
How you doing? I believe it was a co-worker that had done a few odds and ends for him before, so he thought he'd hire him and see if he could do the ramp for him.
And it kept getting delayed. It was going to be April, then it was going to be May, then it was going to be June, and we kept calling, and he would say he'd be out on the weekend or something, and he wouldn't come in. He wouldn't come. But then there would be more reasons, and finally, he wasn't returning any of Chris's phone calls.
He just never finished the work, and that's the unfortunate part. My fellow was supposed to come back, put some rails on it and everything, but it's been over a year.
I'm sorry that he hasn't finished this. I can see a few things immediately that are incorrect. Oh, one of the biggest concerns that I do see here is no rails. We definitely want a nice 36-inch rail here with a side stop for your wheels. This is very illegal. And he didn't do this with a permit, did he?
No.
I can see that right off the bat because this would never pass. I don't like it that he's gone on just precast concrete there. He's only Tapcon screwed it to the wall. I don't like that. This little support that he's put in here is not good at all. It is going to help hold the weight load for the center, but because he's cut it on an angle and he's got his 4x4, he doesn't even have his 4x4 at all into the ground. He's just got it sitting there. It's all against code. We have to dig this into the ground 4 feet deep. That's code. It's just structurally not strong enough, and it's a little scary.
The tenant has a little girl as well. It's too dangerous. You can't have an elevated platform like that without railings. If I go flying off of it, I just got a little ambitious with the scooter, but I can't have a little one getting hurt. We knew we'd normally need a permit, but it's such a hassle to go through it all. When your disability changes so quickly, you need things, you know, not yesterday, but yesterday would have been fine.
Chris was very patient, called him many times, and just over a year later, with no rails, very dangerous. Even in the winter, it built up ice. It was way too steep. We're looking at a product to actually paint over this, and it's a non-slip paint because I heard a story of you doing the old slip down the...
Oh, I went skiing from the top to the bottom, no motor, no nothing. I don't want her to get hurt either. You know, if she's sliding down the ramp in the wintertime, that's not safe. You know, because without her, I've had it.
We are not going to have the slope that he had. We are going to do this to code, and that code is for every 12-inch run, it drops 1 inch.
It's frustrating. Besides the disease being so frustrating in itself, you know, you don't need other problems.
This man used to be a paramedic, saving lives on a daily basis. And now it's his turn to be saved. And what happens here? We get somebody that really didn't care, but he should have finished this. At least made it safe for him. It's just wrong. How do you do that? How do you sleep at night? How do you go away knowing that, you know, you didn't care about it, you didn't do anything about it, and leave it this way? I don't get it. We're gonna do this. Let's do it right. We're gonna sonotube it, go into the ground 4 feet, have saddles. We're gonna show you what this should have looked like.
I can build stuff. I know how to do it. The only problem is I physically can't do it anymore. I'm lucky if I can just hang on to a hammer.
Well, let me get to work. Let me see what I can do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
We're gonna rip this down, and we're gonna start from scratch. We're gonna make sure that not only is it structurally safe, but it's gonna look good.
I went to work one morning and there was no ramp. I came home about 8:30, 9 o'clock that night and there was a ramp.
Charged him $5,000 to build this.
A year and a bit now, and no finished work.
That blows me away. Wheelchair ramps have some very specific safety regulations on how they're built. And this one's a joke, unfortunately, but we're gonna take it apart, see what we can salvage, and we'll go from there. I want to keep it off in one piece if we can, right?
Oh,
so
you
we're not
want
connected
you
to
want
here?
the
Yeah, I want to keep the head
lintel
plate.
with it too.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
All right, so we'll just unscrew the top here?
Yep. There I am. I think I can salvage some of it, but not much. In no time, this comes down. Well, you know, it blows me away how guys can pick up a hammer and call themselves a contractor. He's got some decent deck building skills here, but no knowledge of structure whatsoever. It's a shame, really. This is just a waste of lumber. You should have done it right in the first place. Do I have any more metal blades? Thank you, sir. Okay, guys, just bring that over here, please, and we'll see what we can salvage from this decking. This is not a big deal that he's just finished this with foam, but it's not the way I would have done it. Critters, we have squirrels, anything can eat its way in there. Now I want to open it, and I want to see what he's done here. So we're going to pull off the front piece. We're going to pull up the floor. Since we're 16-inch on center, which we're going to set up with 2x10s and not 2x8s, let's pull all these boards off. I'm going to reuse them. We're going to use a non-slip paint at the end of this, so it'll neaten it all up. Well, you know what? It's nice to see these used carriage bolts to the 4x4s for the framing. However, these carriage bolts are not galvanized and they're not stainless steel. So as you can see, within the first year, we're already rusting. That's what we don't want. If these rust and rot, it's gonna fall apart, it's gonna weaken it. So it has to be galvanized or stainless steel. Just a sheet of plywood, there's not even a beam there. Actually, I don't even have a beam at all under this doorway. However, we have a sheet of plywood here. We had the foam on the outside. It's 1.5 inches. It's not sufficient. We have no insulation whatsoever at the bottom here. It's going to make for a very cold area. We have no support underneath the bottom here, so now I'm going to rejig this. I'm going to have to fix this up, and we definitely want to insulate this area. All right, let's get these post holes dug. We'll have to cut the asphalt a little bit to center the saddles over the post holes. Doesn't matter. We're going to be cementing it in anyways. With the height that we have here, and we need a 1-inch drop for every running foot, we're gonna have about a 30-foot ramp here. So we're gonna need about 10 post holes in the ground to structurally support this.
Let's take her over to the other side, Johnny.
I want them at 4 feet deep. This way, for freeze thaw, we don't have any problems. Actually, I'll do the driveway ones first. Now we're staying level. Good.
Beauty hole, eh?
The reason we don't put it all the way down is we actually want the concrete to fill the area at the bottom. With the auger making a hole, if he has any void around it, that's no good. So we only want it about 2 feet down, and we fill the other 2 feet with cement. We're mixing up some quick setting cement here so we can get it to set within an hour. It takes about 24 hours for it to fully cure. If we're gonna do a structure like this, it should be cemented into the ground 4 feet deep, so this is really a solid deck. Oh, the other guy just put it on the ground. That's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna structurally support it at all. This is a saddle, and it's required to hold the 4x4 posts that we're putting in. So once it sets in the cement, it's gonna lock us in place to tie in the 4x4s. It's extremely important that we take our time here and run these lines so we can get trueness from one 4x4 to another before this concrete sets. Got all the stuff down here. We're just finishing up with some stuff here. We got some wood behind the patio stones there. That's about it. Well, you would think it's just a silly ramp, but it's not. We did hire an architect for this to come in and plan this out to detail, to code. Okay, we're good for the line? Now, whatever you do, don't move. That like it perfect. We're just, we have a lot to do today. I want to try and get the floor up, and I want to do a clear coat non-slip on the top. So it's 1:30 now. We're under the gun, but we're going to jump on it, hopefully to get this done before this rain that is threatening us comes down. Okay. Stay still for a sec, guys. All right, I'm fine with that. Let's get a screw in the center right there, Benj. Now hold it right up on the line. Don't put it all the way in, just tag her. Yeah, I want this to be precisely level. We're gonna have top boards on it with a 1/2 inch, 3/8 gap in between, so we'll have plenty of drainage for snow. We still have to do 2 carriage bolts this way and this one as well. I've set this up this way as a temporary support to hold this exactly where I want it so I can pilot drill it. I need 2 over here. I'll use 2 wood here, 2 wood here, and 2 concrete leg and shield over there. So what that does is marks the brick, so when I go to drill it with a 3/4 inch concrete bit, I have no problems with it. We want 2 on the backboard, the face board, for about every 18 inches. Kind of a pain, but by doing it this way, we're guaranteed to be level and square. I don't mind putting it up and taking it down again just to make it right. Leg bolts and shields are required here to attach the ramp to the house. Unlike the other guy who used concrete screws, that just won't do. We want it against the wall. At this point, we can square it off and then set our 4x4s. That way, we're perfectly square, perfectly level, start at the house. I want that completely flush. A good rule of thumb would be for whatever your thickness is of the plate against the wall, it has to be twice the thickness in the wall. So if we have 1.5 inches, we want 3 inches in the wall. Well, these are carriage bolts. And what we have is when we knock it in, we see that our square part gets into the 4x4, which will give us a nice, strong base of holding this. Its appearance, it's nice. Required by code that we have 2 in each. That's what gives us the strength on the outside.
Right there.
Okay. I like it perfect. Let's look at this. We're 4 feet deep in the ground. We're not going to have any shift whatsoever by freezing, okay? So this will never move. If you just set it on the ground, granted, it will move with the ground up and down and go level, unlevel, and back to level again, possibly. But by code, it's not allowed.
Gotta go towards you more, Don.
Okay, clamp that on, Bench. And whatever you do, don't move. I'm trying to gain squareness from this one to this one so that we're the same distance apart, and yet level both posts at the same time as well as the deck. So it's a little bit of a trick. I want it level. We have a level, we have a square, let's do it. Once I do the sheeting of the top boards on this, if I don't have it square and level, you'll see it, just much like doing ceramic tile. So let's do it right now, then everything else follows in place. David, how are you?
Yeah, how's it going?
Not so bad. We're approximately 4 feet apart here. I dropped it 4 inches from the upper to the lower.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're not gonna have an issue with the 1 to 12 inch run here.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily need to have an architect come in to design, a deck or a ramp in this case, but what you do need to have is proper drawings. You have to go into the city, find out what the requirements are, the setbacks.
I think it's rather easy to get a permit. It's not a big deal. The government's really on our side. They're not against us. Just to have an architect or even drop the plans yourself and submit them to get a permit.
And then you need to find someone who's going to get to put together a package for you so the city can take it in and approve it.
And by going to the government, really to me is getting a second opinion. Rather than just one, we have two.
So in this situation, we went in and got a permit. If you build things without permits, your neighbors can come by and say, I don't like it, phone the city on you, and you'll have to remove it at your own expense. If you've gone through the process, you can ensure that what you're getting is built properly also and avoid a situation such as this.
And as a contractor, I like working from architectural plans. It ensures things are designed to proper building and safety codes.
Yeah.
And for me, that means no surprises during construction.
Yeah.
But this is a safety issue. This is for wheelchairs, so we have to make this right.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. Thanks, pal.
Thanks so much,
Let me
Mike.
get back to work.
Good luck.
Thank you. Clean these two? Oh, it's all about the decking now. We're gonna use 3-inch exterior wood screws. They'll weather with no problem.
Here you go, Don.
I really, really want to get this, the top boards on this today. As long as it doesn't rain this evening, we're gonna clear coat it. We'll see. Oh, I just want to neaten this up. By code, I really only needed about 2x8s on here. But because I'm using 2x10s on the ramp, I want 2x10s on the wall. It makes it all uniform and looks really good. My object is to get this done today. And that's going to be a chore, but we'll see what we can do.
Just screwing in the joist hangers now.
One thing about your joist hangers, when you put them on, there is a reason for all the screw holes, and that is to put screws in. They say that you can put in nails, we use screws.
Nails are cheaper, yes, but in the long run, with all the labor you save with screws, it's a far superior way of doing it.
Just fathom the idea of about 3,000 to 4,000 screws on this ramp alone.
Construction adhesive, great stuff. Doing a miter joint here. Miter joints in wood, exterior wood, have a tendency of wanting to come apart. So if you put some glue in with them, and a couple screws, that helps the miter stay together. Put it underneath so I can hide this one, and you do not see it.
Right, continuous angle down.
Right.
It is only a 1/4 inch, but it still creates the angle.
Yeah, there's no...
And then we can plane the top of it. All right?
Yeah.
Well, what we're doing here is trying to sink a 2x10. So we're just gonna do a trench for each board.
This is a very strange way of doing this, but it's all about imagination on how we're going to make this work. Well, normally, if you put any wood in the ground, we have a concern with rot. In this case, we're using pressure treated, which is allowed, and we're going to bury that into the ground to structurally support the upper deck. So I'm going to notch the beams to carry it through where we can sit it flat inside. We'll screw it down in between, which gives us a complete level surface and something to bite to on each end of the end rafters, as well as tying into the post there. The nail gun is just to tack it in place to hold it till Sean follows me with the screws. The nail gun is not good enough. We want it screwed tight. If anybody fell against it, we want it nice and strong. We have 20-inch by 20-inch patio stones. If I want it tight to the sidewalk, I'm going to use limestone screening to backfill this area. And I'm actually going to put the stone right on the edge of this. Because we're using 2x6s across, I really don't need a nailing edge here. It's very strong. So we're sitting the stone on top of the 2x6 and having the 2x6 come to it. So we have a continuous run right down to the sidewalk. 2 thumbs up. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, this is looking great.
We put a non-slip coat over the top, so it's gonna help for anybody slipping down.
No more skiing?
No more skiing.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, and a handrail. Look at this. Oh, this is nice.
Look at the little trees,
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
we just put in a little bit of
the little bushes,
little flavor.
little flavor. That looks cool.
Every once in a while, I say to myself, why do I do this?
This has made my life much easier.
This is why I do this.
And safer.
That's what I want to
And
hear.
safer.
And safer.
That's exactly what I want to hear.
Edith will be even able to push me up here with no problem at all.
Yeah, well, I'll push you around, all right.
This isn't just a bunch of lumber. This is his lifeline. This is an individual, somebody that needed this. The bottom is actually a curb rail, and so if you are in a wheelchair, it will stop your wheels from hitting any of the pickets.
I'm amazed I can turn around here. I went up straight and then I just turned around here. Lots of room.
Well, that makes it nice and easy for you.
A lot easier. I'm not going to get hurt on this. And neither's the kid. Nobody's going to fall off now.
No, nobody's gonna fall off. It's very, very strong.
I don't have to worry about safety. Come on. This is a solid, sturdy, very safe ramp.
He's a little cutie, eh? I'm just happy to know that, you know, when I leave here, it's gonna stay here for many years to come. Well, you know what? You've been taking care of people all your life. Maybe now it's your turn. People should take care of you or even help take care of you.
Well, true. I don't like to. I'm not used to having.
You're used to giving, not
Yeah.
receiving.
Yeah, done it an awful lot. Thank you.
You're welcome, Chris. You're so welcome. This has honestly been my pleasure. Keep smiling, okay?
Oh, I try.
I'm coming back for a coffee. Edith,
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
we'll talk soon.
You guys take it easy. Thank you for such a beautiful job.
Good game. See you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Thank you.
First heavy rainfall, the basement started to leak.
Imagine that. 5 years of living in a brand new home and nothing but water in the basement. Well, we see a lot of areas that have been flooded, eh? It's leaking from every single wall in many different locations. Now, the builder, what are they telling you now?
We can't find them now.
This is a great sign that the water is not draining off the property. From excavation to putting up the protection layer, this is going to take 5 days. The leaking inside is coming through this area. This house is going to be the most watertight home.
I'm a trusting person.
We actually have a river in our basement.
You think the builder cares about him?
After the first 2 years, they stopped coming.
It's wrong. Mike Holmes, did they actually do this way?
No, they didn't. Not fuckers. You want a good job? GM shape? ROKU contractor.
God, I love my job.
We were looking for a used home in the beginning, and the real estate agent took us into this neighborhood. And I loved the houses, loved the design, all the windows. So I came back on the weekend to look on my own and found the builder's office, and then saw this model home, and that was it. Raced home, told Jay I found her house. So everything went well. The house closed okay. We did our inspection with the builder. But of course, we didn't know exactly what we were looking for.
Good morning.
Morning.
How you doing, Michelle?
Good.
Jason?
Nice to see you, Mike.
Nice to
Nice to see you.
First heavy rainfall, the basement started to leak. So we called the builder, and they came in and patched it up from the inside. We didn't know any better, figured that was standard, and that it was fixed. And then the next time it rained, it started leaking again. I think they were in a total of 4 or 5
4 or 5 times, yeah.
times fixing it from the inside.
Well, we see a lot of areas that have been flooded, eh? And he came back in, tried to fix it up with about 4 different Band-Aids at 4 different times from the inside. That's never gonna work. This doesn't look good.
That's the big one.
Well, this is quite the puddle you've had here. Did you notice how much water? I'd say almost an inch, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with the drain, it would just sit.
After major rainfall, it was so bad that I would put sawdust down. The next day, I'd have to shovel it because it was just saturated with water.
We're
Just to
building
stop
little
it.
dams, trying
Yeah,
to
we
keep
had-
the water from going all the way across the basement.
So the actual drain, did it back up or anything?
Yeah.
It did back up, eh?
Yeah, and not knowing that the flooding was going to be that bad, we lost a lot of our belongings.
This one's right under the window. And look how it's just bringing the dirt in with it, eh? We have a small one here, and that electrical panel. That's a safety hazard, that's for sure. If the floor is wet and you come down here and you're standing in it and you touch something that's not grounded properly, you become the ground and you will get hurt. Did you take the insulation out here?
No.
No.
This is the cold room, right?
Correct.
Yes.
You find it cold? This is your front door. You find it cold up here?
It's freezing.
Yeah, geez, isn't that a surprise? We have an exterior vent right here in the wall, and that's gonna just bring in that nice cool air. That's why it's called the cold room. Bring it right across the floor here, in through here, and make this area real cold to the feet, I'm sure. Nobody said nothing about this?
No. I didn't even realize anything was wrong.
Just that it was cold upstairs?
Freezing in the
Man, I can imagine. Nobody's gonna say, hey, oh, we gotta fix this too. Oh, don't talk about that. If nobody says anything, it'll go away. That's what's happening. So they drilled a corner just to give a fill, and they used a type of epoxy, it looks like. But this is never gonna work. This is a temporary solution. You have to go to the source of the problem, which is on the outside.
About the second or third time they came in, I asked if it should be fixed from the outside, because just in talking to people, you know, acquaintances, people at work, they're all telling me it should be fixed from the outside. So the more I talked to people, the more I realized that we should insist.
I'm curious what they say when you ask them to do it from the outside.
They said it wasn't necessary.
All he cares about is selling the homes. He's not looking at whether or not they have a watertight basement. Just put up the membrane and sell it as a feature. Hey, all our homes are watertight. That would work for me. We should put up an extra protection board, whether it's a polyethylene membrane, I don't care, any type of membrane, or plastic. Just an added protection, which would probably really help you here. But no matter what, if the weeping tile is backed up, it's gonna cause a problem. Why don't we have weeping tile, you know, on the outside and the inside, which would help solve this problem? We're talking more money here, that's why. When I see it this high up, we know there's a major problem with the weeping tile. That means the water is more than likely blocked. So the water is building up across the wall, and it appears to be coming in the holes where they use the carriage pins for the forming. You see the holes that they fill afterwards?
Right.
Now, the builder, what are they telling you now?
We can't find them now.
You can't find them now.
No.
After the first 2 years, they stopped coming.
And then they finished the neighborhood, so they closed shop.
He knows if he waits 2 years, he's away, he's clean, he's gone.
And we called home warranty, and they told us that because the warranty had expired, there was nothing they could do. And we told them it was a pre-existing condition and that they tried to repair it. And in fact, it had gotten worse. The first spring was awful. You can see by the stains on the floor how deep the water got. But they said that their hands were tied. There was nothing they could do because the warranty had expired.
You've got to stay on top of it. Read it, follow it, right from day one. If you don't, after 2 years, you are on your own.
I'm a trusting person at heart, and I think that was a fault through this process, because obviously our neighbor had a leak. He got it done. I believed they were going to do the right thing, and I left it because I believed they'd come in and they'd fix it.
We're gonna put on this top-notch membrane. We're gonna charge you $500. Are you in? I'd do it. If I don't know about it, that's a different story. Most people don't.
We can't wait to finish the basement, and we're confident this is it. It's gonna get done now.
Well, we're gonna bring in some tractors, a whole ton of people, and we are going to make this right for you.
Thank you very much, Mike.
You're welcome,
Thanks,
Jason.
man.
Hey, Michelle. I'm gonna get to work. There's a nice little toy. I like toys. It digs big holes. Oh, look, it's full of rock. It's full of debris. It'll be a little mucky today, there's no doubt about it. We might get some rain this afternoon, which will be a pain in the rear. What I want to do is actually bring it right back to the last 2 rows and pile it right on the last 2 rows.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
We're gonna have to pull the bay around the window. This is cute.
It's gonna come out.
Because this should
That's
be
illegal.
This should be anchored to
That's
the wall.
illegal. Yeah.
Well, we had one hell of a lot of rain yesterday, and this is a great sign that the water is not draining off the property. So I think we're going to have one hell of a muck bath today, and that's going to suck. I like that. That's a toy. Look at that, eh? Made to fit. To solve this one, we're gonna have to dig all three sides of the house, right down to the footings. That's about 8 feet deep, and that's one hell of a lot of digging. And these guys are the guys that can do it. Where the areas you can, he will try and build it back to keep it safe from coming back in. On short areas, he has to put in a barrier, which is gonna protect them. We can see that there is no sock on the weeping tile at all. It allows the dirt to get in and allows blockage. I don't see a lot of 3/4 crushed gravel down here, and that's what I'd like to see. If there's a blockage in the weeping tile, what's gonna happen is the water is no longer draining out to the front. It's gonna start filling in this area, making the ground very wet. Here's where you see your carriage bolts. This is where they use the non-shrinkable grout. And the carriage bolts for the forming for the foundation wall will carry through. So once you take the forming off, they have holes in the wall. A lot of the leaking inside is coming through this area. All this weeping tile is coming out. All new weeping tiles going in with the sock coverage, and all new 3/4 crushed gravel. We got a ton more digging to do here. We'll clean off the rest of that tar and we'll get ready for the membrane. We're at day 3. What we're doing is turning this into one hell of a war zone, that's for sure. How you doing, Ed? We've really made a muck mountain around here, eh?
Yeah, we
Or
got
the
a
rain's helped you out, eh?
We got a bit of rain last night, so obviously it makes a muddy mess.
What do we got here?
This is a big chunk of concrete. Looks like the tail end of a concrete truck. They had some left over, so they decided to dump it here.
What a wrong spot to dump it.
We've exposed the tip of it here, and it's a couple of inches away from the corner, so we probably could waterproof around it, but for what it's worth.
I have a jackhammer in the truck. Now this is going to be a trick because the air conditioner's on the ground and we've got to get down below it to leg it into the house.
We got to get a few guys to hold it, and
We have some 2x4s, what I'm thinking of, as long as we can pick it up, get vertical underneath it, and then dig down. We want to support this. Like, I never like it when they put an air conditioner in and they don't cradle on the wall. So we're just going to do a temporary brace support underneath it, and we'll hand dig an area, get the brackets in, get it self-supported. It should be standard, eh, Benj? You know, anytime you're installing an air conditioner, mount it. We used to disconnect the air conditioner, drain the gases, dig the hole, put it all back, revamp it again, add new gases. And now we don't have to touch it again, we don't have to disconnect it and add new gases, which just escape to the atmosphere anyways. Finally, excavation's done. We have the next team in here, and they're power washing off the walls to get that tar off so they can apply the new membrane. This is the hydraulic cement that's supposed to carry right through the carriage bolt holes, so we're just gonna do a little inspection here. Let's see how they filled this. And this is not the way to do it. Look at this. Now we know why it's leaking like crazy in here. This is not hydraulic cement right through. All they've done is put in backer rod. It's like a little bit of foam. So there we have a 5/8 hole right through. No wonder it's leaking. Well, as far as I'm concerned, they shouldn't, you know, it should be completely filled. Either use non-shrinkable grout or hydraulic injected. We'll get a piece of rubber wall patch, go over top of it, then they'll spray over top of that. But now that'll have to wait until Monday, but this is good until then. Well, we have 50 millimeters of rain coming Saturday and Sunday, and I don't want this going down there. We're gonna get two 30 by 30 tarps. I'm gonna drape it over the hill, bring it right down into the hole, right across this yard. I don't wanna dig this out by hand. Oh boy, we've had a cave-in at this point. We do a quick support, shovel out what fell in there, pain in the ass. We're just gonna do a little inspection here. Now we know why it's leaking like crazy in here. Oh boy, this is real luck because that was heavy, heavy rain. So guys, we're gonna get our pay today to start shoveling. The tarp that we put over really did protect us, but we still had an undermining underneath it. It came down to the hole. Unfortunately, we had to hand dig this. And this is clay. This is heavy stuff. This is gonna continue to fall, so we've got to take all the loose stuff down. This is the second cave-in. You can see how it's split right here. We're 8 feet down here. This is a little deeper than usual. So this whole area now wants to fall forward. So we really have to do a quick support, shovel out what fell in there. This is a pain in the ass.
Got it? Yep. Make sure it doesn't get wet. Too late.
So now we're going to just spray the rubber wall directly over this.
Yes.
Then we have the protection coating.
Yes. We have a two defense system. The first is the rubber wall, the second one is the geo-wrap.
The geo-wrap, but that acts as a wick and allows the water to drain down.
Exactly, to drain fast down to the weeping tile.
I think that's just brilliant. I guess the developers think it's just too much money at this point, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
But if they did that, don't they look good? Don't they, at the end of it, everybody says, hey, I got a property that doesn't leak anywhere.
Absolutely right, but the developer selling their houses, they're selling the kitchen countertops, the baths, the kitchen.
So let's worry about the inside and not the outside.
The outside, you know, because by the time the people start finishing the basement, the warranty's already expired, you know. I really feel sorry about the homeowner who in this subdivision, and probably every single house has some sort of water problem, you know.
And that shouldn't be that way. This should be just standard that your whole outside of your house is watertight, and then start worrying about the inside. Vlad, why don't they do this to all the houses?
Just they're trying to save some money.
But now that this is up, we can just put up the protection board without a problem at all. Get the weeping tile in, start backfilling. I noticed you put down a plastic on the bottom of the footing there. Is that up underneath this
Yes,
roll here?
absolutely. That's what you call cross-laminated plastic or cross-laminated flashing that we put on the footing and on the wall to secure that joint.
So this is the geo-wrap you've been talking about. Now this is the same as a plantain. It's a plastic product with the fiber bonded to it, and I like that because it wicks the water right down to the weeping tile. Well, as soon as this is up, they're going to drive a couple of tacks across the top, and then we can get going on the weeping tile and start backfilling just like that. We have the stone slinger here, just for the 3/4 crush for the weeping tile. So we're gonna put it on top of the tarp. Bit of a pain. I wish we could get it in there and sling it in, but we can't, so I'll have to do it by hand. Well, the weeping tile does go around the whole house, but it isn't necessary that it goes to the garage side because that's unexcavated. There is no basement under the garage. So at this point, we bring the weeping tile all the way around the house and tie it right in to underneath the garage where it meets the main drain and out to the street. Well, we have to flush out the existing weeping tile that leads out to the street in case we have any dirt or debris inside it. Then we're going to attach in this new weeping tile to it and pull the sleeve over top. It's like a sock and it keeps the dirt out. Okay, Benji, while they're finishing this, let's go downstairs and we'll tackle that cold room. Let's just leave this forming up. This is not a major issue. They should have taken it down, but you see the 1x6? It's got all kinds of broken concrete up there.
Yeah, it'll all come coming down.
Well, normally, I mean, I would just I'd put this up the way they have it, even though they don't really have any structural supports from the bottom. They poured one hell of a lot of concrete up there. That's a lot of weight. But it did hold it, and it did let it dry. And then we come in, we take this down. That's the idea, is it's just all concrete room. It's a cold room. But now, if I pull this down, I'll want to clean that up, and that could actually disturb the concrete up there and, you know, cause a leak. So I'm not going to disturb it. I'm going to leave it. It's up fine. This is not a major issue. What is insulating this. So we're going to leave this. Just make sure we get the voids up here. Thanks, buddy.
All right.
I'm going to go back outside.
Okay.
Well, now we're just going to backfill this and clean it up, and we're done. Here is a fabric that goes on the outside, and what this does, it grabs the water from the very top and wicks it right down to the bottom and drives it to the weeping. That is brilliant. Now it's time to put down a 3/4 crush gravel. Normally it's 6 inches down there, but I like to put about 24 inches down. It acts as a drainage bed, and it gets the water down to the weeping tile. These guys even lay down a fabric on top of the 3/4 crush that helps keep any dirt whatsoever from going down to the weeping tile. Now I think that's a pretty smart idea.
We're backfilling around the gas line, and with the backhoe, they'll drop quite a big chunk in here, so we don't want to effectively rip this down. So I'm just cradling the gas line by putting soil underneath and then just packing it so there's no damage.
The builder didn't do any of this. He just used patch job after patch job, and 2 years later, after the warranty runs out, he's gone. When a well is put around this area filled with 3/4 crush, this will be cut down. This is just a cap. So this is going to allow the water to come into the weeping tile and drain right directly out rather than filling the bay, which we saw in the back earlier. Also, you can pull the cap and flush the weeping tile if ever there's a blockage. It's a great idea. Well, now we're just going to backfill this and clean it up, and we're done. Let's get some rakes here, and we'll rake out this dirt, and we'll get the fence sections back in place. I have my guys come in and clean it up because there's no sense in having the sawdust on the floor anymore. One thing we did do that the other guys, just for some reason, didn't care to do was we sealed back up all the joints here. We tuck taped it, and as you can tell, we did a lot of tuck taping around here. I cut a couple of holes in the plastic where the insulation was still damp, so let that air out and then get some tuck tape, or I'll give you some tuck tape later. You can just tape up that plastic again, okay?
Mike, do I have to worry anything about that? Like, is that...
I would not worry about this anymore. Unfortunately, it is staining the wall, but it's not going to leak again, that's
Oh,
for sure.
No more sawdust.
No more sawdust.
No more sawdust. The door over here, for the first time in 5 years, I think you might have a fairly warm floor upstairs. I can't believe all the people that have come in here have missed this. We added some Roxo Plus in here. This is green. For me, it's an easier product to work with. I like it a lot. It's easy to cut, not as itchy as the pink, even though the pink works just as well. Same R factor. So we've put up 6 mil plastic, brought it across, tuck taped it down, so you're gonna be nice and warm upstairs at the front door.
This is what it should have looked like.
And it's funny, nobody caught it.
No.
But let's go take a look outside. It's a little cold out here today. You notice we put your air conditioner up on 2 brackets.
Thank you very much, yes.
you.
That's just the way it should be. You know, I don't know why they don't do that. It's only, what, 70 bucks for the brackets? Now, this isn't the prettiest, but this will settle down, okay? And obviously, you know, your neighbors, you're going to be a little jealous of their backyards. But now you can go downstairs and
enjoy the basement.
And work on the basement.
Yeah, it finally feels like the house we bought.
5 years of worrying, 5 years of headaches, 5 years of going down with sawdust, trying to clean up the puddles. Well, the reason why your basement was leaking was the carriage bolt holes for the forming boards, they filled them in properly. It should have been cork in the center, or hydraulic cement right through, or non-shrinkable grout, and they just parged over it. So they used a backer rod instead of everything else and did a quick little parge. That's never gonna keep the water out. What it's going to do, as soon as the water gets down there, it gets in through the parge and right in through the hole, and no wonder you had a river running through here. So after that, they put up the rubber wall, 4 coats of it across. We put up a dimpled plastic product with a fiber on one side, and this fiber actually acts as a wick. It grabs the water rather than letting it sit here. It grabs it right from the top and wicks it right down to the weeping tile and drains it. It's the way every home should be. Can you imagine that? 5 years? 5 years waiting for the builder to come back and fix this. From day one they moved in. 5 years. Something is wrong with that.
Just to have it all done is just incredible.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rain for a change.
Yeah.
It's actually not going to come into the basement.
Let it rain.
Now, not everybody here has got a wet basement, but unfortunately, too many do. So how do we change that? Let's put it back in the code to have a membrane wrapped around the house.
Really nice meeting you.
Thank
Mike.
you very
And
much,
again,
Mike.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Don't be afraid to call for advice. On anything you do, just call. That's what we're here for. This has to be mandatory. This has to be code. It's the only way I see to make it right.
Good game, Mike.
Good game.
Right on,
Good
Mike.
game.
Good game. Okay, Ben.
There we go.
Okay.